Hi, students. We are going to take a look at the four sectors of the economy. This is out of chapter 4 in your textbook, and this is the only part of chapter 4 that we're going to cover. The four sectors of the economy are pretty easy to figure out what that is: primary, secondary, tertiary, and quaternary. So let's take a look at what they each mean. The primary sector is relating to using natural resources, whether we are mining or fishing or drilling for oil or mining for other materials or agriculture. Any of those types of things are part of the primary sector. And back in the 1900s, about 90% of Americans were involved with agriculture. So most of us dealt with using the natural resources back then. Now, today there's only about 1 or 2% of us that are actually working in agriculture anymore. We have fewer farms, but they're much larger in size. And we have lots of mechanization going on, which replaces having lots of labor there. When we are talking in a region of the Midwest, which in your textbook, I think it is called the Great Lakes and the Corn Belt, when we are in that section of the textbook, we're going to talk more about agriculture. That's our agricultural hearth of the United States. And we'll spend some time talking about commercial farming and sustainable farming in that area. All right, so let's move on then to the secondary sector, which has to do with manufacturing and industry. And, you know, a lot of our manufacturing and industrial jobs have been outsourced, but we are still one of the most productive industrial regions in the world. Okay, and when we are in the Midwest again, but we are just a little bit north of the agricultural section, is what used to be called the manufacturing belt. And that just meant that there were so many manufacturing and industrial places along there that it formed kind of a belt along here. Well, since people have been outsourced and places have moved around for different types of industries and so on, it's commonly called the Rust Belt. And, you know, that means a lot of places are gone now and a lot of people are out of work now. And cities can't go on like that. They need then to make some decisions on how are we going to redevelop this area. And that's what I like to spend some time talking about when we're in that area. All right, so secondary is manufacturing and industry. Tertiary is all about the service sector. And the service sector would include healthcare, any kind of healthcare, or anybody involved in healthcare. Retail, any kind of retail. It can be restaurants, department stores, boutiques, specialty shops, anything like that. And then it also includes tourism. And tourism can be quite a moneymaker. We are familiar with that because Disneyland being so close. And we know that not only the park itself, but there are hotels, there are restaurants around that, and all of those benefit from tourism. Okay, so the tertiary sector has to do with the service center. And the quaternary sector is our last one. And this includes government, financial services, education, journalism, research and development, the media, any of those, and the military bases as well. And any of those types of things, most of them are not place specific. They can be pretty much anywhere. We'll talk about the military. That's a little bit different. Maybe it's that they need so much land. Maybe it's that they need to have quick transportation to the oceans, you know, a lot of different things. But when we are in the South, we're going to take a look at why are there so many military bases in the South? All right, so these are the four sectors of the economy, and I just wanted to define them a little bit before we start moving into our various regions, and we'll kind of demonstrate what types of primary sector do you see in this region, or do you see more of the quaternary sector or service sector? What do we see? All right, so I'll talk to you again soon. See ya.